Hello everyone, this is the King Therapod Show. So as some of you may have seen, Lion Country has recently responded to my video, very incorrectly, by the way, in which I had clarified mistakes that he made in his previous video. Okay, now let's look at what he says here in his video.
Barely makes up 2 seconds. So how is this a fight? This is a scuffle, not a fight.
Okay, so if we look up the definition of scuffle, it says here that a scuffle is a short and sudden fight. So in my video, the usage of the word fight to describe this event is absolutely appropriate because a scuffle is a type of fight. Moving on.
His first claim, he said that I claimed the tiger didn't make contact on the second strike.
All right, now this one here is a perfect example of why I said in my last video that this is a waste of time. So if you watched my last video here, I corrected him in his accusations that Everland staff was trying to fabricate accounts. And I told him that he was misinterpreting things in his videos. And now he's doing the same thing with me. And I actually had to go to his channel and inform him that he was quoting the wrong part of the video that I was referring to. Let's take a look here.
He's telling people things that I never even said. Let's replay the clip from my video and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'd notice his head goes slightly downward upon the initial downward strike from the tiger.
Okay, so that part that he showed in his video wasn't even the part of the video that I was referring to in my last video. This part of the video here that you see at 4 minutes and 50 seconds, where it says the tiger still hasn't made contact yet, is the part of the video I was referring to, not the part he showed. So thank you for informing your audience that you didn't know which part of the video I was referring to. Moving on. Yes, of course the tiger hits the lion with that second jab right there, but I don't consider that jab there to be a full-blown strike. This one at the end of the video, which was a much harder strike, is the one that I'm referring to as the second strike. Let's move on to the next important thing that he says here.
King Therapod exaggerates the first blow and said that it somehow disoriented the lion. He doesn't mention the fact that the lion actually anticipated the tiger's oncoming blow and tilted his head to reduce the full force of the blow.
Okay, yeah, so let's go look at the definition of disoriented. Okay, let's see here. Having lost one's sense of direction. Now, considering in this video here that paw swipe, as well as the other ones, was able to make the lion's eyes close, I'm pretty sure that counts as disorientation. Because how can you have proper orientation if your eyes are closed? Now, considering that the tiger's paw swipes did that, I'm pretty sure that was a pretty effective paw swipe that achieved its desired effect.
And certainly didn't disorientate the lion.
So no, sorry, but I'm pretty sure that my usage of the term disorientation is pretty appropriate. Okay guys, now let's skip all this here because this isn't even what I was talking about. Okay guys, now let's skip over to the part where he talks about the soil. Okay guys, so if you remember in my last video where I covered this here, you'll remember that I talked about how a combination of the lion getting disorientated plus failing to make a successful paw swipe led to the lion falling to the ground. Had the lion not become disorientated, and had the lion not failed with his paw swipe and swinged his arms, causing his balance to change, probably would not have had him falling to the ground like that. So in other words, the entire reason that the lion fell to the ground was because he put himself in a stupid situation to begin with. And that is the lion's fault. If you recall at the beginning of the video, the lion didn't even try to dodge the tiger's paw swipe. Rather, he simply allowed the tiger to hit him and instead just slightly moved his head. That was mistake number one. So in other words, the lion was being careless and clumsy, and that right there is the lion's fault. Now, many years ago, I had a friend that filed a lawsuit because they had tripped on a sidewalk there by a casino. During the court session, The court ruling determined we believe that the lack of awareness and clumsiness was the primary reason for your injuries, and that the casino sidewalk is not responsible. Clumsiness isn't even considered an excuse. Certain things like disabilities are considered excuses, but clumsiness is not an excuse. So, Lion fans, do not use clumsiness as an excuse in your videos. And here's another example. You get into a car accident. Who is the one responsible and at fault? The car that was in front of you, or your dumbass for not paying attention to what you're doing? If you answered the one on the right, you would be correct. And the same also applies with this lion versus tiger video. Okay, guys, now let's skip over to the very last part of his video here.
From a viewer's perspective, especially newer viewers would get the impression that this is the same lion without any context or specification. So why didn't you specify it right then and there when it's the same implied context as the others?
Okay, Lion Country, if you actually looked at the forum post properly, you will see here that I actually deleted the part that Mountain Lord mentioned in his forum post. That being, the lion got injured. I didn't include that in there. This part here was left empty, where I didn't even give my opinion on it. In fact, actually, this is the first time that I've ever actually talked about it with my actual words. If you actually look at this forum post here, which by the way is merely just copied and pasted from like other websites and all that there, so I'm not the one that actually made these clips there and the GIFs and all that there. These are all just like copied and pasted from like other people. So not all of these necessarily represent my actual opinions. Plus, even if there was something there that I didn't agree with, chances are it was probably a typo or I accidentally put it there or something like that there. Which, by the way, these forum posts that you showed here are from 4 years ago. So that's a pretty long time ago. Let's skip on to the very last thing.
Somehow you're saying 16 also defeated with zero proof. Where's the footage? Or a photo that even suggests undeniably 16 also did this or had anything to do with this. There is no proof of this.
Okay, like I just showed you that in like my last video here. Okay, let's actually read what I showed. It says here that he had been brought to the safari as a 3-year-old and had overpowered all of the tigers and the lions at the park and became the king of the whole safari. So he wonders where the evidence is that this tiger defeated the lion, but it's right frickin' there. It says here that he defeated all of them, which means is that he defeated him, right? And we could come to a reasonable conclusion that that was the reason why Everland showed it in their video. You can't prove me wrong here. All you can do here in this situation is give an opinion, which, by the way, will never be confirmed unless you magically decide to learn Korean or something like that. Oh, and also another thing I wanted to point out is that if you actually go to the SBS Broadcasting channel on YouTube, at no point in their narration in the channel video did they ever mention that these were the same lions. They never said that there. If you go get it translated, you'll see that they don't even mention that. They just talk about the history of the safari in the video. They don't talk specifically about this account. Well, yeah, there you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video here. And Lion Country, my recommendation here is that seeing how you want to twist my words and misinterpret things here, my recommendation in this situation is for us to agree to disagree here. Because quite frankly, this is not a debate about lion versus tiger. This is a debate about semantics. And this is not what my channel is about. So please do not make any more responses here and save both of our times. Thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video here, and thanks for watching.